me know if you can hear me. Hey, Rex. So we're just gonna go. It's gonna be a basic Q&A. So as people keep coming in, you guys can really just ask me anything. And for the people who are on Patreon still, first of all, thank y'all for just staying over there. You know, but also I just posted some worksheets up on the Venus retrograde, and I'll be slowly going through what a Venus cycle is, because even though Venus is retrograding and it retrogrades almost every year, this one's a little bit different because we're in a Venus cycle. And if you guys have any questions about what a Venus cycle is, because some people were asking questions, they can. But how are you, Rex? Hopefully you're doing okay. But yeah, that's up on Patreon, for anyone who's over there. But yeah, any questions you guys want to ask me, even if it's just not astrology related, I really don't care. But this is just a Q&A, and if anyone has any questions that pertains to astrology, you can ask me that too. But yeah, the Venus retrograde is a very interesting thing. Just really observing it, and just so far, like even me talking to people about their own Venus cycles is interesting too, because you learn a lot about people. And I remember I was listening to one astrologer, and he was like, "Look, I don't know if I don't know if people should get with people without seeing what their Venus cycle is, and their Venus cycle, how it goes through, because like basically Venus goes basically above the horizon and below. Basically, she goes down into the underworld, and that can really change a lot about people, and also change about a lot how they relate to love, their love life, even their finances. So it is interesting. I would suggest anyone who's interested in tracking, hey digital, anyone who's interested in tracking their Venus cycle, to just like, if you look back at 2015, 2008, and possibly like 2000, 2001, and if you just sit there and really think about how life really be like jamming people up, or any type of the thing, like just any type of experience you've had during that time, you'll see a clear pattern. But I have been enjoying like having conversations with people about their Venus cycles, and it is very interesting. It is interesting, like all types of stuff, but it's I don't really know what to say. But yeah, I would suggest you guys to like look back at 2015, 2008-ish, 2000, and like 2000, 2001-ish, and you'll see a whole cycle. You'll see a whole cycle. But that's up on the Patreon. I will be doing more questions about more things about Venus, and I guess I'll be sharing y'all. I need to figure out something I can share, like, because I kind of want to do something more interactive with notes and stuff like that. I know y'all really, most of the people on Patreon don't care. They will literally just download the PDFs that I put up there. But sometimes, like, something more interactive where you guys can ask more direct questions when I, like, put notes up there. Because then we can also get into, like, Venus, Inanna, and the pentagrams. Because that really be, like, a whole thing, too. Like, what pentagrams actually are. Because pentagrams really are the star of Venus, if we really want to be for real. Um, but yeah, But you guys have any questions? How has everyone been doing? Any questions, guys? Don't be shy, because y'all usually be asking good questions anyway. Like, really, don't be shy. Good. Just trying to keep track of work-life balance. I get it. And especially since, like, a lot of the planets are, like, in, like, Virgo right now. So it is interesting. How have I been? I've been really good. I mostly just been chilling and just reading and watching notes, doing my little notes, and just mostly just been chilling. I've been a ghost. I have no idea about Venus retrograde. No, Venus retrograde is a real thing. Like, it retrogrades through 5 points. Um, Gemini, Aries, Leo, Scorpio, and Capricorn. So it's like a 5 pointed star. That's what I'm saying about the pentagrams. Like, it be really like TT. That's why when people see it, like, I don't want to be like judgmental, because people don't really understand what they're looking at, you know. But I also know that people also don't ask enough questions either. So like, they instantly like assume like something really wrong. But like, it really, like, now that we're in Venus retrograde, it actually make me want to watch Charmed all over again. But yeah, like, people just really don't understand what that is. But the pentagram is the star of Venus, you know, which I might just type up some notes on what the star of Venus is, since we in the retrograde and the cycle is starting over. So I might just type up some notes for y'all, and I'll try not to it to be too crazy, because it's basically astrology. I know people be like astrology or slash astronomy, and some people be like, bruh, yeah, my eyes is crossing. So like, I don't want to like overwhelm nobody, but I'm gonna try to find a way for it to be cool for people that just sliding in. Um, I moved to, oh, hey Journey. I moved to Texas and achieved that goal. There's someone from back home I kept a connection with, but to be honest, I'm not feeling it and want to let it go. Is that a good decision? Um, okay, depends on your chart. I will look, see, I would be cool, like, because I just slid back in here, I will look up y'all stuff. That's why I said this is a Q&A. If y'all have like actual questions y'all want me to look at in your chart, for free 99, you know, go ahead and ask a general question. Nothing real deep, y'all, because for real, be for real. But I'll look up your thing, Journey. You just have to send me your thing, because I have to look in your chart real quick. Digital. I love Charm. Piper was my favorite. Yes, bitch. Piper was my favorite. I actually did a whole Piper cosplay. Like, I had the whole outfit and the wig down. Nothing wrong was done. He just low effort. I'm not really that attracted to him. His laugh annoy me. Well, to be honest, Journey, you got a lot of sage placements, so I'm not. You are, girl. Mine is 1219 and his is 819. Girl, I'm not fooling with you, because you got a lot of sages, and sage people, they have to really understand like the element of freedom and non-commitment. Like, they really struggle with that, and sometimes it can be muy toxic. If y'all not careful with them, they be muy toxicness, muy like. But no, I'm gonna see if I can get in your thing. Do you, for you, you would have to, Journey, you would have to put in your date of birth, your time, and your location, so I can see what your little thing is doing. But honestly, it's probably like your Leo retrograde, to be for real. Like, cause it's retrograding, and so I mean, I talked about this, like, it's actually typed up in the notes if anybody's on Patreon. That's in this chat right now. It's over there. It's posted now. But when we dealing with Venus, Venus deals with love, comfort, and it's going to deal with our relation to the sun. So, okay, just a brief, again, if this is getting too crazy, here, I'm gonna put my work number in here. in the chat. And then for people who don't want all their business out, they don't want people to know their age or nothing, I'm gonna put my work number in the chat. And so that way, if y'all rather just text y'all information, and make sure y'all put your name there so I don't get y'all confused or nothing. But y'all can do that, because I know some of y'all don't really want people in y'all business like that. So hold on real quick, y'all. I'm about to put it in it, and then we want to explain what Venus actually is. This is why this is an exciting time for the whole retrograde thing. Like, it's really, y'all really should be having fun. But I also know everybody's chart is not the same, and so everybody don't be having the same Venus cycles. So boom. But no, Venus, because of the sign, the way it looks, and I wish I had a little slideshow so I can like put it up for y'all. I might actually be legit and actually come up with a whole video. It's a circle with a plus sign at the bottom. So if you type in wherever y'all at, if you type in, or you want to look it up later, if you type in Venus glyph, it's a circle with a plus sign. So the circle is the sun, and the plus sign is matter, or like a physicalness. And so what that tells you is that Venus is receptive to the sun, because the sun is the greater light. It gives off the most life and the life force. The sun is masculine. So masculineness, or a male form, gives off life force, and they're supposed to receive that. One could also articulate this: your whatever your sun sign is, which is the sun, gives off a force, and the Venus part of your chart, whatever your Venus sign is, how you relate to the said force or vitality, or your said identity. Now, some people's Venuses and Sun are in a strong place where they can relate to life and relate to their identity in a good way. Some people don't have that, and they struggle with identity, and they're going to struggle with relating to life. So this could be issues with depression, identity issues, even health issues. So because a physical body is the emergence of a spiritual aspect, a spirit, and then a physical form. So the material and the spirit are together. That's why you have a physical body, you're alive, you have a personality. And so some people really struggle with this. This is what we're going to see during the Venus retrograde. So like things that people used to like coming back, old lovers, things around money. Maybe you found some old money, maybe money went somewhere else. Comfort, love, beauty, socializing, hanging out with people, issues around kids, people being proud of their children, or your parents being proud of you, nightclubs, all of these types of things are going to go. Circulation, heart issues are going to be at the surface too. If we want to delve into like medical astrology, also hormonal issues. If you really want to get into medical astrology, people's hormones and circulatory hormones, because Leo is the sign of back pain and or the heart, and it deals with being heartfelt, where Venus is the sign of, again, comfort, love, beauty, and relating to life. Also forms of indulgence. So people's hormonal issues or sex issues or kidney issues could be going up right now. You know, liver issues, having issues processing your hormonal effect. That's why some people can be how they used to feel, they don't feel no more, because they're going through, they could sometimes, some people could be going through a hormonal shift. So hopefully that makes sense. But let me see if I can find, if you sent me your stuff real quick so I can like put it in real quick. But yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, I got your stuff, Jasmine. I'm about to put this in real quick. But yes, you guys put your questions in there, and if you guys have any questions about like Venus or any of that stuff, well, really this is be a good time to ask about romance and love, because we kind of dealing with like a love transit anyway. So very interesting. But hopefully that didn't make y'all eyes cross over, because I know sometimes like it could be kind of eye crossy. But yeah, that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the greater light, you're dealing with the lesser light, or a reflectorial energy. And so Venus is supposed to reflect or absorb what people, or really what the sun gives off of identity, depending on like how we're asking these questions. Do I want his info too? Hold on, hold on. Let's see what the T is real quick. Okay, I'm putting it in now. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, Jasmine, I'm putting your stuff in right now. Let's see. Okay, so the Venus retrograde actually for you would actually affect other people, which is very interesting. Let me go down to see what your degree range is real quick. In the seventh, 10. Okay. So it is interesting to see how would it affect you. Honestly, I also see it affecting dynamics with your family, your mother, or other women as well, and dynamics dealing with work. But in this case, I really do see it affecting other people in your relationship to other people. It does seem, let me see, your son, 11th house, even how you deal with work and your own personal identity, because it's going to deal with like dynamics that deal with like authority figures, male figures, or possibly your career, which makes sense why you just moved to a different city, um because of what the sun is. And then, okay, I don't want to put all your business out what you all have in here, but seeing like what's conjuncting your sun too, I see why there's changes as well. Honestly, I could see also changes in possibly your friend groups and possibly hopes and dreams, like what your goals are, your hopes, your dreams, your goals are so different now, especially as it deal with your goals for yourself. Yeah. So let me see, because it should be in about 23 degrees right now. There's almost like a energy of maybe when you deal with other people, um Jasmine, there's a energy where they feel like they act as their own worst enemy, or they're unable to make any active decisions on their by themselves, which is annoying for you because you're a Sagittarius and you believe in the element of freedom. You also have a Aquarius rising, and your sun is conjunct Uranus, so you really believe in autonomy, individuality, and working out things for self. But for some people this can be very hard, and I think it's a struggle for you in relationships with people, because it's like you really have to understand like everybody's not Jasmine. Like, and I know it's two Jasmines in here, but I'm gonna say Jasmine with the Z. That's what I'm talking to right now. But everybody's not Jasmine, so everybody doesn't have that like everyone doesn't have a spirit that has that well defined, or a spirit that has those things sorted out. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't want you to get too angry with your family or your friends for not having no direction, or they feeling like they taxing you extra hard. I don't want you to get too mad about that, but just also understand like everyone doesn't have that. And this could also be like also a lead by example, especially since you have predominant like Jupiterian placements. So because you have Jupiter and Pisces in the first house, and because you're Sag rising, maybe people also, whether you realize it or not, people look to you for instruction or for you to teach them something. So by you being yourself, you can teach these people how to have identity or direction. You know, sometimes giving people direction isn't always like I set them down with a piece of paper and bang bang bang. No, sometimes it's like just a good role model, or I'm doing what I'm supposed to do for myself, and people can learn a lot just from you being yourself, you know. So like I don't want you to get like in your bag where it's like, bitch, stop asking me, like, because I know, no offense, some of the signs I see will be a thing. I know you ready to be like on some dirty foot, you know, about to start kicking people in the head stuff. But listen, it's sometimes teaching people isn't that like, it's not giving that, because it's like depending on what signs you have, it's already kind of natural, or where this is where the universe or God gives us domicile, or how can I say, dominion. So like you don't, it doesn't have to be that, all of that. It doesn't. Do you get what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? That makes perfect sense. I gotta book a reading tomorrow. Yeah, like it's not giving that, you know. Also, like I said again, guys, look back at 2015 and 2008 because that will tell you a lot about interactions with people. So for Jasmine, maybe she moved in 2015 or moved in 2008 or had a change in there or change of career or she had a change with her friends or she got irritated because she felt like people were being demanding of wanting them to like teach her something or to make a decision for them, you know. So this will be a pattern, but this is also Venus starting over. How you socialize, how you relate and socialize with life or sense life, that those will be new things. And so every 8 years you need to get a new friend group, you need to start a new career, or you need to move. And if you find that that is your pattern, Jasmine, you got to pay attention to that. So, you know, not saying you never have friends that last more than 8 years, but maybe this can also show you if you have friends or you're having relationships with people where they could be overly demanding or they have you doing more than what's necessary. um you won't know by the end of the 8 years if they really messing with you or not. So because if that's the pattern, then that's the pattern. Hopefully that helps. Any more questions before I slide on to anybody else? So, but yeah, also blast from the past, so you might get old friendships coming back, old lovers coming back, especially for in Jasmine's case because I have it sitting up in her chart. So hopefully any other questions, because I'm about to slide on to someone else who has any questions about, you know, anything related. Okay, let's see. We're getting on my nerves. That's funny. How would I know or find out how this retrograde is affecting me? Rex, if you want, you could just text me your information and I'll just go how I just did Jasmine's. I'll just put it in the we'll just have a conversation. If you don't care about putting it in the chat, it can be in the chat. For people who, some people don't want people in their business like that, and I understand. So if you still want me to look at your stuff, you can just send it to the number I put in the chat, okay? Let's see. Jasmine, I love Sagittarius. That's cute. The Jasmines. Feel like I'd be toxic with him. Then wrong, girl. This is not it. Honestly, you should even see Jasmine, Journey to Jasmine, if you had like weird suitors that you weren't compatible with that happened in 2015 and 2008, like annoying people that tried to date you. Cause that's another thing too. S. Colton, hey y'all, just happy to catch a live. I'm doing work, so I ain't gonna be active in the chat. But any insight to all these retrogrades about to pop off? Love y'all. Be blessed. Be blessed too. Let's see. Is this a good time to try to date seriously, Jasmine Moore? It can be, because like it really depends on the person's Venus cycle and their personal 8-year cycle. So for some people, like their Venus cycle, they got married every time Venus was in Leo. For some people, you know, they got rid of somebody or something raggedy happened, you know, and it really just depends on, you know, how people's charts are set up in relation to Venus and the sign. Because everybody's not going to be the same. Like what I read for Jasmine don't have my placements. So what I read for her chart, that's not how that's affecting me. I have mine somewhere totally different. For her, it's other people, lovers, suitors, or friends changing like home. Like these are different things for her. Traveling, you know, traveling to go after her hopes and dreams. And then people being overly demanding of her, you know, like just that's not something that happened to me. So her chart's different. That's how I feel. I just want to have fun in my new city. Yeah, that's you. Like you want to have fun, you want to make new friends, blah blah blah. Like it's just different. What about South Node and Libra? I keep seeing it as cardinal signs villain era. I don't think the cardinal signs are necessarily evil or villain era, but the South Node and Libra again really depends on how things are situated in your chart. But the South Node deals with karma, debts, or releasing. This can also be a way we can channel things into Rahu or the North Node. So like Libra is a Venus sign. So Libra deals with making amends, to the sense of like being peaceable. It can also deal with balancing, and I know some people think balancing is like everyone agreeing or going in one direction. It could, but also it could also mean someone playing the off ball or being contrarian. And that's, I do notice with the air signs, it can be off ball, or they're not as attached to certain things. So like everyone says yes, somebody in Libra could say no. So like depending on how things are in Libra in your chart, that'll determine like what we're releasing, what we're channeling into the North Node or life purpose or direction, because it's in Aries. And so Libra deals with collectiveness, merging, also certain forms of law and litigation. And whereas Aries doesn't believe in that, Aries believes in itself. It believes in creation. It believes in it, the initial fire and the force. And so we're thinking about releasing ideas around diplomacy or trying to come out what's legal, what's fair, even action and consequence. And so sometimes, no offense, when you see Aries placements, the reason why sometimes people get an attitude with them, because sometimes they don't really think about the law of cause and effect, where Libra might overly think about the cause and effect. So like my action has a reaction, and it seems like they can't ever get nowhere because they always kind of caught up between, if I do this, then this will happen. Whereas the Aries don't think that way. It's just go, 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 go. And so what we see is that people start to not think much more about the consequences of things. And this could be a karmic debt, or it could also be something freeing, depending on, again, how people's things are aspected. So the ruler of Libra will be Venus. How Venus is aspected? Well, right now, we just talked about it. Venus is retrograded in Leo. So there could be some resistance, or we can be going back in a cycle or a pattern of dealing with themes around Leo. Leo deals with identity, childlike wonder, being proud of children, or parents being proud of their children, romance, lovers, socializing, sports, going out, having fun, going to parties. And so maybe some people are releasing these ideas, or maybe people are dealing with issues that are holding them back, think about too many consequences about having fun, being myself, if I want to have children or not, if I want to date this person or not. People just don't want to be bothered with that, and they want to go out there and go, go, go. So I don't really think it's a villain era. I mean, if it's aspected like a op or villain in your chart, probably, but for real, like, it just really depends, so you just see how the chart is, like, how it's flowing, because it's almost like it talks to each other. The chart has a conversation, and the conversation ain't always what everybody else is having. Sometimes you having your own little thing. Texas heat is real. Do you want his information too? Jasmine, how did you get his information? He must be something serious. Okay. I was fighting my classmates and trying to figure out how to make more money. See, and digital, if that's what happened in 2015, 2008, and 2001-ish, then you might be seeing more things around there where you could be fighting neighbors or fighting coworkers or trying to get more money. And that could be just how things are aspected in your chart for you to get where you need to go. Because, like, as the time moves on through the cycle, because these are 8-year cycle, so, like, depending on what you do at the beginning of the Venus cycle will show you how much money you'll make, how much you relate to life and whatnot. Because Venus goes from above the surface to the underworld, basically. Like, she goes in and out. So depending on how people's stuff goes, some people, that wherever their Venus are, they're having more fun in the underworld, where some people, they not. So should I text you to book a reader tomorrow? Go ahead, Jasmine. You can text me. What's the number? Hold on. Because I put it in here. But I'll put it in here again. But yeah, it really just depends, guys. That's why I'm doing the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions about, what the vibe is, you can. But also, if you just have any just general questions that aren't related to the topic either, and it's just something completely different, I'm okay with that as well. Let me see. Wow, yes, in 2008 and 2015, I got into the most narcissistic relationships. The journey, you better run for the hills. Okay? If that's your cycle, then you need to pay attention to that. You gotta pay attention to that. You know, don't ignore the spirit, because again, you want to get yourself into trouble. So for this person, you know, Journey has, you know, put herself up to have this conversation. She was open to, you know, having a conversation about it. You know, every 8 years, she up there D'ing up with somebody toxic son or daughter, whatever she got going on. But she always D'ing up with toxic, you know, lovers. Well, if that's the case, then that means you need to examine every 8 years, like, you know, what does that say about me? And also, if Journey's open to it, you got to think about how has those toxic relationships in 2008 and 2015, how did they affect you for those next 8 years? So from 2008 up until 2015, and then 2015 up until 2023, when we dealt with these toxic people, how did they affect your life? How did they affect how you socialize or related to life, how your vitality, how well you felt? You got to think about how they affect your money, your comfort, you know, all of these things. Because remember, these things are Venus names. Venus deals with, you know, how I relate to life, love, comfort, popularity, ease, money. You know, it deals with stuff like that. Depending what sign your Venus in will tell you a lot about what your Venus thinks about these types of things. I was asked for money 4 times by 3 people this week. So yes, being demanding of me is real. Yeah. So honestly, Jasmine, if you go back to those other time periods, I'm pretty sure people was a headache on you too. So they probably was a headache like in 08 and 15 too. He's into astrology and gave it to me to see if we were compatible. We were in every way except how we communicate and romantically. Well, girl, that's the most important way. Like, I mean, not in every way. Like, let me see. What did you say his birthday was? I'm going back. I'm scrolling back up to see when you said his birthday was. Because, see, you're a Sag, and that means he's probably, what, a Virgo? Because he's 8/19, or is that a Leo? So those are fire signs. Okay. But yeah, like that, like communication and romantic dynamics are like some of the most important ways in relationships. And I'm not saying people with certain communicative signs or romantic signs can't ever date. But it is a bigger task to take on, because you want to have to overcome things that aren't as at ease in your chart. Now, we've seen people who aren't necessarily the most compatible in certain ways, but they liked each other and they felt like they was worth the effort. They've done that. But yeah, like, to me, Journey, those are the 2 most important ways, especially when you say every Venus cycle, like romantically, money or whatever, you got somebody knuckleheaded child being a fucking nuisance. That's enough for me. Like, girl, beat feet, we out of here, zoom. Like, and I'm not gonna tell you what to do, because that's up to you, but I want you to pay attention to your cycles though. But for me, I would have been jumping fences in a miniskirt. I'm out of here. I'm paying attention. I'm already headed out. Perfect. Like, bye, girl. Because look, girl, what's his birthday? If you feel like putting his birthday in the chat or texting it, that's fine. That's cool too. But like, we out of here. Zoom. Heavy and hard on both. The last one lasted a while. I still refer to him as the cokehead. Oh my lord. Yeah, no. Just go ahead out and shut it down. Yeah, shut it down. Yeah. Okay, for Rex and Journey, y'all, I need their location and their time if y'all have that. I still need the location. For Rex, I need your location, and for Journey, I need your location too. For this person. So just yeah, just get up out of there, you know, because you don't need nobody doing all of that. That's already at the level. Especially if the signs, the universe already tell you, girl, when we gonna give you this job, right? But somebody's child gonna be playing with you. Look, as soon as you come over here, I know the devil. I see the devil and I'm out of here. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it will never go right. But if I know I'm more prone to ghetto activity at a certain time, I have to respect that the universe or God has that for me and I just need to move smarter. That's it. That's all. So let me see. Okay. Jacksonville. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you. Thank y'all, both of y'all, for putting that in here. Let me see. But yeah, like, it's, you gotta pay attention. That's why also I tell people this all the time. Some of your best like ways where people ask me about like spiritual growth, honestly, keeping a journal. Like, I'm not even capping. Keep a journal and try to write down as much as happened. If you can't keep a journal, because some people like to do different things, I've done this technique too because it's fun. If you keep like a journal or like a container or like a bottle, and I just get a post-it note and I just write down general things that happen to me in a post-it note, and I stick it in a jar, and I just keep the jars, and I would label them the years, or the boxes, I would label them the years, and at New Year's I will open them up with my little black eyed peas, because I believe in eating black eyed peas and cornbread and all that for good luck. But also, if y'all just want to keep those jars and put the date on it, obviously put the date on there so you know what day XYZ happened. But if you want to keep those jars, so when y'all in these little cycles, and you could go back and pop, like I said, y'all go back 8 years, and you pop open your little jar or your container or whatever. If you can't do a whole book, like a journal, which I get you cannot do it. Some people can't do a journal. You could pop that open, you could start flipping through your little post-it notes, and then you be like, oh, see, that year was whole trash for me. Let me act like I know. Close the jar back up, or close the box or the Ziploc bag, however y'all have it stored, and put it on the side. And so that way y'all know how the game work. Because the game really be like a pattern. And that's really what it is. It's a cycle. So you really just have to know what's T, and then you just move on from there. But that's what I try to write down as much as I can. I try to journal as much as I can. Try to write down as many dreams as I had, just so I can just see when I come back to these things and I have to ask myself questions. It's not like, dang, what happened 3 years ago? What happened? I really gotta concentrate. I ain't no concentration. I'm gonna flip this thing open and see what's T. But I'm gonna do journeys real quick, and then I'm gonna move over to Rex's stuff. But yeah, no. That's why I would suggest y'all try to write down just as much, even if it seems mundane and boring. You just need the bullet points of the day, or the bullet points of your personal life. It don't have to be that serious. You don't got to be up on no Moesha Doug-ish. You just need to know what happened. Like, okay, my house flooded, my dog ran away, I lost 3 pounds, or I got a promotion, this new haircut is really fire, nobody really messing with me on this one, look bad, I bought a new car, something like that, just so y'all can just track. You just gotta track it. Hopefully that makes sense, y'all. Now let me see. He had 8, 19, and y'all both was 19 babies. Like, what in the world? Because 19 deals with power and dynamics around power and control, or power and authority. So I thought that was even interesting. Like, y'all both had, if I remember correctly, I think y'all both was born on the 19th. Let me scroll out real quick. I think it's too far back for me to see it, but I think she did say y'all both was born on the 19th. Like, so they're already dealing with like power and control issues. Okay, so let me see his thing. I ain't gonna have all the information because I don't have 2000. I don't have his time to get his rising sign like that. But let me see just the general vibe. Well, see, that's the problem right there, because he has Leo in Mercury and Leo, and that's already retrograded. And then Venus is retrograded there, so like he's gonna have like communication problems where he's gonna struggle to like have proper conversation, and then Venus want to be smacked up there right with it. Also, that means he could also have issues with like how to purchase things or buy things. He could make poor buying decisions as well. And because it looks like it's conjunct the moon in Cancer, the sun in Cancer. Let me see. Let me make sure I put this in right before I start talking slick. Before I start talking too slick. But his still should be retrograded. Okay, yeah. So his sun and his Mercury. Okay, so we out of the retrograde. Yeah. So like with his sun is at a degree where honestly, if I think about it correctly, you got 10 and 26. Okay, so if his Mercury is at 10, that means that yes, he could have like a penetrating or analytical mind. He can have a lot of friends, be very ingenuity. He has like a lot of ingenuity, brave, but there could be issues with robbery. I could see him getting robbed a lot or maybe stealing from other people. But there could also be accidental poisonings. Also, this person could have the ability to be good at fighting, but he could also have like eye issues or issues with bodies of water. But overall, like this could also be like aggression and violence issues, but he can also be self-willed and uncooperative. Like he don't know how to listen, he don't want to really cooperate neither. But yeah, he would be good at astrology because he has certain placements that dictate that he would be good at that. But he has home issues and he also has issues with lying. 26. Yeah, issues with love, problems with the law, love affairs, and drugs. Sudden death or poison and drowning. He have issues with bodies of water. Lying, crime, stealing, and suicide. Yeah, issues with lying. Wealth, sound judgment, clever, very clever, a lot of violence. I have to keep saying violence, lying, issues with water, drowning. He's smart though. Also self-willed or self-asserting or self-centered. Danger, lost, mutiny. Girl, stay away from this man. Stay away from this man. And then also like he had certain placements. I don't necessarily see compatibility in a way that I personally think that could possibly work for you, because where he has yeah, he does have Uranus and Sag, where I feel like y'all would be compatible with it, but it's retrograded. So like there's certain ways in which you want to have liberation where he doesn't see things as that. And then you also have like Jupiter and Pisces, where you think that luck is abundant, the universe is abundant, everything is like so free, but he has issues with feeling lucky, feeling like things are open, feeling like he can trust in life, trust in faith. He really sound like a Debbie Downer with a tight wall. It's giving Debbie Downer tight wall energy. He was in the Navy. That makes sense because he has military placements, but he give Debbie Downer tight wall energy. And I think like when I see your chart, it's like somebody that's like, I want to chill, I want to have fun, I just want to be like more open. Like yes, you're here for conversation and communicating and having fun, like these type of things, but like he more uptight than you. He more uptight than you. So like I actually see you banging him. No offense. Like I'm not trying to have good sis catch a charge and then we gotta go on crowdfunding like for that Alabama brawl and try to get black people out of jail. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. And I see also the appeal too because his moon is in Aquarius, and so I think deep down his emotions, he kind of want to be free too, but there's something that keeps him from like really opening up and really being free how he wants to. And that's not your problem. That's not your problem. He be because he have a moon in Aquarius, so he really want to be like, yeah. Also, on a medical astrology tip, when I see also possible circulation issues in his chart. I'm not trying to be doing all of that, but he could have circulation issues. that goes on with him, which can also affect like his possessiveness and controlling issues, which is also like a low-key hormonal thing. Like he got to get that together. He can also have eye issues as well because his sun and his moon opposed, so he can have his right and left eye can have like circulation issues, you know. But he really like you because he like, yeah, I want to be out here with no panties on too, but he's too scary. And it's like, girl, you like, what the heck? You like, girl, what I'm gonna do with that? And that's already wearing you out. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work. He's gonna, something's gonna have to give. Like, y'all, we can't keep doing this. It's either you out here with no panties or you got your panties on, but I want you to pick one and stop bringing that drama to me. That's how I feel. It's like when your girlfriend be asking you, should I wear a thong or should I wear nothing? And I'm like, that's up to you, sis, but stop coming over here. If you want to wear a thong and be whatever, cool. If you want to wear granny panties, cool. If you don't want to wear nothing, a free ball, and I won't snitch on you, but stop coming over here. You know, so I don't, the parts where, there's some parts where I'm like, yeah, but like, he has to like really chill, because it's like you can't be this scary and trying to drive the boat. Move bitch. Like, if you that scary, let me drive the boat. Let me drive the boat. That's all I'm saying. He just need to take it down a notch. Like, it's not giving that. I want you to take a deep breath. Everybody just breathe. But I don't know how, for like, when I look at your chart with your rising, your sun, and your moon, I don't know why that's going to work. I asked, did he have a thyroid issue? This is wild. See, we already syncing up, because you know black people psychic. So when you see how we both throw hormones, see, to God be the glory. Y'all, Jasmine, beefy, because he don't want to give up nothing, but he want to have it all. That's not how that works. You can't be free and then don't want to release. That's not how that works. Because you can't be like, I want to be free, but I also want to be in charge. That's not what that is. Also, when people say falling in love, it implies a lack of not self-control, but a lack of like demandingness. Like, there's a freedom there. Like, people be wanting to fall in love and then want to control everything. Like, you just being neurotic. Like, I want you to relax. You know? So, hopefully that answers your question. But no, he got something else going on, because he got stuff where I feel like you would think y'all would like, but because he got all these retrogrades, or like he kind of fight with it, it's too much. Like, he has his own internal battles. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he has his own internal battles where he struggles with. I'm not going to talk about his family life and stuff like that based off his chart that I see in the chart. I'm not going to dig into all of his bag, but his eyes bulges out of his head. That's what I'm saying. He got eye problems, because I look at his chart. But I'm not going to do all of his business like that, because I'm not trying to drag. But all I'm saying is, it's enough dragarization where I feel like y'all don't have what I think y'all would have, because I see why you went over there. There is things that y'all would have mutual vibes with. But then there's some stuff that he would not, because he don't want to release control. He too scary. You won't want to bang him. So I don't believe in domestic violence, and I just feel like we shouldn't be trying to change people. People should go to therapy on their own and fix their own issues. If he want to be like that, then just wrap this up, because it's not going to go well, and you want to be stressed because you feel like you raising somebody else's child. He going to get mad because he mad with his mom or his father. Everybody mad. Then y'all got to go to therapy over this. It's like, no, everybody be the therapy. Step 1, start off with getting help. Step 1. Then step 2, we kind of vibe out and we work out. I meet you halfway. Like, you feel me? Like, all right, I heard your therapist said you had PTSD. Okay, this is what we can do. Not you got PTSD, you slapping the furniture around, acting crazy, and I'm supposed to just not say nothing. No. You got to start off on the right foot. You know, like, you got to actually be making an effort to get your stuff done. You know, so he too stubborn. But to be fair, he got a lot of fixed signs, so he got to work that out. He got to learn to let stuff go, because he can have like a toxin build up if he not careful. With all that, he can have like toxins building up, like a lymphatic issue or like a liver issue, like that, because that's where it will metastasize to wild stuff like that. I've seen that. But let me see. I'm about to go on to somebody next. So let me see. I said Rex was next. Let me scroll back up. Okay, Rex, let me look at yours real quick. Yeah, because I don't want no black people going to jail because they trying to make it work with somebody's son or daughter that's not for them. Like, y'all, stop that. Stop that. You know, sometimes people aren't compatible, and that don't mean they're a bad person or you're a bad person. Nobody a bad person. You know, y'all let that go. Because y'all over there wrestling in the mud with people that y'all, it's just not like that. You know, and that's okay. That, it happens all the time, you know. Okay, I'm doing Rex real quick. Let's see what he got going on with his little Venus retrograde. But yeah, I know I have to work on my communication with in relationships for sure. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, everybody has to work on that, but some people's chart, what y'all just see me do it with her and old boy, sometimes it's be like a lie, you know. And I feel like in this case of Jasmine's ones, I feel like he has a lot of internalized desires or internalized wants, and he's kind of using Jasmine to like live those out versus like just learning from Jasmine and she teach him how to live out all of those repressed things, because he has repressed energies or sub personalities in the chart. That's why him and her would make a great couple, but he would have to like allow her to basically show him the way. Because sometimes people's charts are like that. Like, they have repressed things there. And so someone is going to have to drive the boat and teach the other person how to get out of that or have a certain lived experience. Which happens. Like, it just is what it is. Alright, so let's see. I'm looking up yours right now, Rex. Okay. You know what is interesting? Okay. Rex, you don't have any placements in Leo, but you do have your sun in Aries, and it look like it's conjunct Venus and it's conjunct Mercury. And so, like, this is making you probably think about love, think about communication and your own identity in a different way. Hopefully this isn't making you too self-centered or too selfish. And this can sometimes, a lot of times, give you issues with, like, I guess you could say being stubborn, more innovative ways of thinking, and also issues with like possibly authority figures, mothers, the government, and other things too. It can be good because it can help you relate to siblings, children, people in the neighborhood, sharing information. And again, you and Jasmine have something interesting. Y'all both have like a Jupiter Mars thing, which means that y'all can be very giving, very generous. Also maybe not thinking your actions all the way through, but this can really affect how you communicate, how you think, and how you think about love. And because Venus is in detriment in Aries, I know people think about detriments and falls like it's good or bad. Not good or bad, just force. So think about it like a force. So like when you think about domicile, exaltation, these are positive numbers. When you think about, because we're talking about the quality of a planet, the quality in Aries is like a -5. Meaning like it's not 0, it's just -5. It's forceful in the wrong way. So it's forceful in the wrong direction. So someone would have to teach you how to relate to life, how to love life in a way that doesn't affect self or isn't selfish. Because you can be relating to life in a way that's too intense, that is selfish, or it could be self-harming. Also, you could be in situations where either you or other people are casually or openly insulting you, being overly challenging and rude. So, I want you to keep that open. You said you don't remember much from 2015. Rex, this would be a good time if you can, 2015 and 2008. Hey, Steve. But yeah, try to remember that. I can't hear all your secrets. No, you have to think about that. This could also be possibly challenging dynamics in early childhood, because Leo deals with like childlike wonder and innocence, where Mercury deals with ages from 6 to 10, like childhood as well. So maybe there's old desires that you set on that you would want to accomplish or do, to like for a career or to make money, that's linked to like your childhood dreams. Honestly, this can also have things that's tied to your father as well. So we can have more things that are centered around your dad, because like you're dealing with the sun, and the sun deals with fathers. So dealing with dynamics around dad, and dynamics around your father and how that shaped who you are, you know. So it is interesting what we talking about. Well, Steve, we have a general Q&A, but we also talking about the Venus cycle right now. We talk about Venus in retrograde right now. But yeah, that's what I see in your chart. I don't really see anything really too bad, but let me see something else real quick. You got it one at 4 degrees, 8 degrees, and 9 degrees. Yeah, because you have something too where you have a danger of being a jilted lover, where you could get bitter in love. There's also a thing about laziness and self-destructiveness, nervousness, illness, inhibition, and loss. A thing about ambition, vanity, intuition, enthusiasm, and just making bad decisions. But you do have a lot of gravity, sternness, and judgment, especially in severe trials. And you could have a flair for poetry and drama. But I would suggest you to try to think things through, because you do have a thing where you can become a jilted or a bitter lover because you kind of rush into love or romance too quickly. Like, honestly, you really do have it where you really like, you love love. Like, you love being in love. You like being with people. But you do have a thing where you don't think stuff through. That's your problem. You know. Being in love is great, but you don't want to do it where you don't think nothing through. So you can be kind of impulsive. So, gotta figure out impulsive in career, money, also lovers. You know, you have to take your time with these things. And I know patience is hard for you because of how your chart is. I can see having patience is very hard, but you need patience to see if you're gonna like the job, or you're gonna like the girl or boy. I don't know what you got going on over there, but you're gonna like whoever you with. You gotta take your time. That's the thing. Take your time, because it's like you have a thing where it's like it's almost like a burning desire, but it also can make you very bitter really quickly. So you have to be careful. You know. And this can be quite destabilizing. So it can affect like dynamics with freedom, stability, your home life when you do stuff like this. So if you go back to 2015, 2008, you'll see a pattern of like lovers, issues with communications, being jilted, bitter. Like, you gotta be careful with that. And it's bitter because you rushed. You going too fast. But that's what this is going to do. I don't have your houses because I don't have the time thing to get like all the way up in there, but you know, that's what I'm seeing. Yes, you're correct about me being impulsive. Just women. Yeah, you gotta stop, because the women going to shape you're not going to have no peace. Because how the women, you have a moon that's squared Venus, like on a dynamic with squared Venus, so you can have issues with women or expressing yourself. And so the more time you take to pick these women, the easier it is for you to express yourself. Also, dealing with insults and rudeness. Are you the rude one, or are we attracting rude people? Rude, nitpicky, and overly critical people. Because you could open yourself up. Like, if you have a communication issue, or you speak too fast, or you just say you have like verbal diarrhea, you could attract someone who doesn't bring the best out of you, or that could they don't have enough patience for you to say what you want to say. Or you could be like over talking everywhere. So you're going to need someone who has patience to deal with that. That's calm, relaxed. you know. That's why you have to take your time, because you just want to, because you have a placement where you're going to, it makes you bitter. But if you rush, you're going to be extra bitter. So if you take your time, you're going to be less bitter, you know. Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, I know you say I can air out your stuff, but I don't want to, I don't want to go all the way in people's charts like that, because this could be, sometimes people deal with very traumatic things, and you know, it's not always nice to blow up everything, you know. So, but no, you have to take your time. I also want you to understand this could also deal with dynamics with your mother and the issues with your father, because there's something about a mother father separation, and also inappropriateness of your mother, and you attract the inappropriateness through the women. It's like a mirror. So you have to understand what's going on with your dynamic with your mom, and then how that shows up in your relationship with these women. And in my, like, I'm not saying like this is a thing, but like in my quest to feel nurturing or maternal love or to feel belonging, am I rushing into women who are triggering trauma or triggering things for me that triggers me to, I could be rude sometimes. See, triggers me to be rude or get into toxic dynamics. Because again, when I look at your chart, I see somebody who loves love. They want to be in love. So if you want to be in love, you have to be very responsible, because love is a very powerful thing. It can build up people's self-esteem into a way where they feel like they can conquer anything, or could destroy people into ruin. That's why when we get into relationships, whether it's platonic, friendship, or not, is a great responsibility to be the shepherd of someone and to love them properly. Because what we're doing, and we're going to send out a chain reaction that will affect not just us but other people in society, because you have to think about how many people, a person we damage, you have to think about how many people that a damaged person that we participated in damaging, what they're going to do to society at large. So you should take your time. You really should take your time. So all this whole player stuff, and then all of these damaged people are outside. Like, y'all seen the internet. This is why we have the gender war, because there's too many bitter people running around damaging other people, making more bitter people. That's enough. Everyone go to therapy. This is too much. And everyone take accountability for the role that they're going to play in doing things. Because we can't complain that it's trash in the neighborhood, but people still throwing trash on the ground. So, like, I understand you really love love, but also think about you rushing into love might be bringing out the worst, like, more uncouth or unseemly parts of you. So, everything you're saying is spot on. I lost my father at an early age. Yes. So, okay. If I talk about this on a psychological standpoint, you know, and I don't want you don't have to go into anything too deep if you don't want to, but fathers are so important. Parents are important, period. But when we talk about what the father represents, it represents an early launching hood into identity, and he's supposed to separate the child from the bosom, or telling the mom, like, okay, that's enough nurturing. Let the baby go outside. You know, you got him all up on your chest. It's time for him to go do things. Traditionally, when we talk about, like, dynamics of, like, the mom, you know, taking care of the baby, and then, you know, because sometimes she's not always physically running around, the father usually runs around more than the mom, because of naturally how women's bodies work and how men's bodies works. So we also talk about patterning. So early on, children have a biophysiological urge to pattern after their mothers, which they are going to do, right? As they get older, because they get more individuality, or an ego develops, this is why the father is important, because he shows also another dynamic of, this is an individual with a separate ego that's not attached to my mom, and he has his own identity. I can too pattern off of this person as well. That's what the child sees, and it does that. But when we don't have fathers, it doesn't allow us to pattern, it doesn't allow structure, and it doesn't allow us to have another de facto ego to pattern off of. We just have our mom. But when we have this, we can also have issues with safety and security, because there's no one else, unless you had like a other paternal figure to do this, because sometimes people do, sometimes they have great grandfathers and stuff like that. There's no one to spring off the identity from, and so we can have enmeshment where the mom is too close, the mom could be inappropriate. Sometimes people's mothers even commit emotional incest, where they're moving the child into dynamics where they're taking on too close of a friendship or too close of a dynamic with their sons or daughters. um, and it doesn't allow for that. So it is important that we have fathers, because they help us to show us other forms of ego development outside of the way we develop some parts of our egos with our moms. There's not the same way. And so you have to think about too, what I see from your chart is that you are a person who has mother hunger, but you also have father hunger. So there's something that your mom did that's not good for your ego and your development, but it's something your father did that is not good for your ego development. So it's something they're not getting along with. So when I look on a spiritual level, your father might have a view or look for you for wherever he is in the universe spiritually, and what your mom is doing is not helping. They don't get along. So your mom is doing something that they just, it's not, no. So your father will be there to have a stand-in for you to develop parts of another part of your ego. I would really suggest for you to research up on father hunger, specifically how it affects boys, because like gender does matter, how children socialize with their parents or whatever. Even like esoterically, gender matters. So I would suggest you to read up on, if you really want to delve into like parental hunger, there are books on father hunger, mother hunger, and you should look up on it as it directly affects you as a man, and how you're playing out some of these dynamics, because you're it seems like you're starved of a mom, but you're also starved of a father. So you got to look at both ways, but that will really help you. But no, you're a child who would, if I look at your chart as a baby, this baby loves love, but the problem is they're too impulsive. My mom was just hard. She was not emotional. I can see that because your moon is in detriment as well. So your moon is in Capricorn, which is a detriment. That means it's cold and it's dry. But also Capricorn is seen as like a male figure. So your mom was trying to act like the father. But your sun is in exaltation, where your sun is in Aries. So that's what I'm saying. That's why you have to think about why you keep running to certain women, but also why you're seeking out nurturing, because your chart isn't set up where you got a lot of nurturing as a child. So you probably going to want a woman who's very soft and nurturing, because you want to make up for some of that energy that you didn't get to have. But the problem is you kind of have like, you impulsive, like you kind of get too smart, you can be kind of cruel and mean. So you got to think about, like, am I acting in a way that would attract the type of women I like? Because like you probably would want like a Susie Q or very sweet kind of cutesy girl to offset all of that, because it's too much hard. I just got a book called Mother Hunger. I have a book called Mother Hunger, but I think you got the one I had, but I have one too. It's probably the same lady. I gotta see if I can remember what the doctor name was, but you have to look up parental hunger, because it's a real thing. But honestly, Rex, I'm not gonna judge you about it, but you probably want like a soft, squishy woman, like a real, like, honestly, think Sinclair from Living Single. Like, she's very soft, very nurturing. Like, if that's what you're going for, you're going to have to take some of that aggression down a bit, because you're going to scare that type of girl off. She's not going to want to be interested. And then you're going to be left with little sexy red type of girls, or Sukiyana girls, like little scratchy girls. And you don't really want scratchy girls. You want the squishy ones, so you're going to have to take it down a notch. Yeah, super cute and adorable. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Think like super cutesy girls. That's probably where he's going to want to go. Like, if I'm looking at a chart with parental dynamics like that, they're going to want like the softest thing they can get. And they're going to want like a Sinclair, or think other like very soft, cutesy, like Minnie Mouse type of energy, which is cool. But you're going to have to take it down a notch, because all of that aggression and being rude, you're going to scare that off. She's going to run. Pink Panthers type of woman. Yes, there you go. It's purple. We probably got the same one then. Myra. Yes, yes, that's the type. So once you understand what the T is, then you can start to get your things together so you can try to get that type of girl. Cause that's what you want, but what you're getting is sound like little rough little girls. Because you're patterning it off of your mom, which is normal. But the sad part is like you at your limit with that type of energy. You want something else, so you got to do something else to get something else. And I thought, if I remember, I think you told me you had a Scorpio rising too. Cause I think you was the one who told me one time you had a Scorpio rising. So you really like, you got a lot of scratchy energy. So it's like if you trying to catch something cute, think of like you going hunting. You know, if you going hunting, you want to have to do something to get what you want. So like how you hunt a tiger isn't how you hunt a rabbit. Cause I know that sounds like very like, you know, caveman Neanderthal energy, but like think about it. Like dating is like you're trying to go out there and you're trying to get a archetype that you want to be with romantically and whatever else you want, whether you want to marry someone and whatever. If you want to get something cute, then you how you get a rabbit is not how you get a tiger. So if you using tiger antics on rabbit little girls, they're going to run for the hills. It's nothing wrong with you. It's something wrong with how you're doing it. You get it? Hey Lola. So yeah, how you're doing it is a problem. Welcome Lola. Sensitive, cute energy, open feelings, poetry. Right. And since remember I told y'all that Rex have it where he could write poetry in his thing, he better start writing them poems. Y'all remember when the boys used to write us poems and stuff and make us mixtapes? I want an angel. Right. That's what he want. Rex, you better start writing poetry to try to get those girls you want. Because you want the cutesy girls. That's what you have to do. You gotta meet them somewhere. You can't be acting scratchy and stuff. Hey Dion. You know, that's what you're trying to do. Love Jones, not don't be a menace. Exactly. You gotta meet them how you gotta be, you know, sweet, you know. And that's one thing I do love about y'all in the chat. Y'all do be trying to give people dating advice out here. I missed your energy with the TCZ train. Are we talking about Venus retrograde? Yes, Lola, we talking about Venus retrograde and just a general Q&A. We trying to save everybody romantic life with this Venus retrograde. We already done Hell Jasmine. We on the Rex right now. I'm trying to go down through the comments real quick to see. But yeah. You trying to save people from making patterns of failure and karma. So we already two right now. We two deep in, so we already got two people that we saving. You know, we trying to just spread the ministry. So, you know, but yeah, you better start writing them poems or something. Cause it sound like you be acting raggedy with them girls. That's why they be running. I have a woman who is how you guys are saying, I'm just getting in my own way. Yeah, like you being too little raggedy. Because you're going to scare her off. So, that's all. That's all you got. You got to chill a little bit. Sometimes you got to friend zone a woman to actually know her. Come on, that's y'all giving good advice up in here. Y'all don't be trying to make her raggedy. Because if you if you already got the cutesy girl, just chill. I know it's hard because again, like we're dealing with like how we're raised, we're responding and acting in unconscious ways. But honestly, I think what can help you, because you do have placements for poetry, maybe when you struggling with communication, you write it on a piece of paper, like write out something, you know, because you got poetry and drama, and I think you can really write some good stuff. So like because you got that placement, write it and then give it to her and see. Y'all probably gonna get somewhere more better. Y'all get somewhere better with that. I gotta get into, yeah, because you do have it when you have a talent for writing, you know. So try that way. All right. All right. So let me scroll back up to see who we got up in here. Um. Okay. So we have Jasmine Moore. Jasmine, are you still here? Because if you are, I'm going to need more than your date of birth, girl. I'm gonna need a location, bare minimum. And if you got the time, I'll take that too. But if Jasmine Moore is still here, I have your date of birth, girl, but I don't have the time or location. But if you don't have time, I just at least need location. Okay, let me see all the new people that came in. I missed y'all too. That's so sweet. Save me, digital. Okay, digital, but that means you gotta put your stuff in here so we can really gag on it and we really try to help each other, because everybody been trying to help each other out. How do I get my shit read? I'm late. Okay, restoring the feeling. If you want, you could put your birth time, your location, and your date of birth in the chat. If you don't want people knowing your business, just let me know. I'll put my work number in there, and you'll just text it there, and then we'll start discussing what the Venus retrograde is doing in your chart, because that's what we're doing right now. The Venus retrograde in Leo and me, my man, been going through some petty dumb arguments. It ensued, but yeah, it's probably how it's in your chart though, in his chart, Lola. I mean, it happens. It is what it is. But yeah, can Christian Rock be saved? I don't know. Depending how her chart set up. What is the thing you're doing right now, James Corbis? What's it called? What I'm doing right now is just straight up astrology. I'm literally just eyeballing people's charts. I'm just looking at it. It's astrology. Sometimes you got a friend zone or one. Okay, we already did that one. Let's see. Instagram your friend. I don't even text them unless we going out. That's a good one. That's the thing. Oh, this is Rex again. That's the thing. I had one who I friend zoned for 2 years. Then we got together. The best relationship I've been in. Then got into one of them bad behaviors and lost myself in her. Oh, see, but see, sometimes people, they that's what I'm saying about people's moon placements in childhood, because it's so ingrained. So like how your parents raised you is so natural, you can slip into it. You know, they're not sure a bad person. It's just that you have some tendencies that aren't the best. You know, so you just have to watch it. You know, but see, you already had that experience. That's why I said when I look at your chart, you be ghetto, and them girls be out of here. So if you trying to get your little Sinclair on, you little cutesy girls on your little Myras, you can't be doing that. You know. Now if you want the scratchy girls, I'm sure they would love all of that. You know, be on the floor with it. But it seems like you want the opposite, so you won't have to do something else. And take your time. You see how you took your time with that girl and y'all was really like hit it off? You know, because you got it where you be rushing relationships and stuff. So don't rush the relationships and don't rush nothing with money, because you going to get yourself in trouble. So, but yeah, I think Jasmine Moore slid out. Let me see. Jasmine Moore, where you at, girl? This your last chance. I'm going to go on to someone else unless you slide back in. No problem, Rex. Just don't have these transits ruining your love life now. You know, you gotta wake up every day and be like, I'm more than a conqueror. You know, a planet is a planet, and I'm gonna do what I need to do so this planet don't whip my ass today and ruin my whole life. And yeah, I'm gonna be all right, and then you be all right. That's it. All right, Jasmine. Girl, you can slide back into the chat, but we want to go on someone else. Okay, let me see who next. Joe Cool, what led you to discover your spirituality? Child, COVID. COVID did that, child. When you be in COVID, and I had worked in a hospital at the time, and you really be having to call on the higher power, because that mess was crazy, you know. And didn't nobody know what to do or nothing. That was some World War Z mess. But yeah, that, and I also just, there was like things around me that I just, this is why I comfortably say this to you all. There was certain things in the environment, how people was raised, like my family, or just things I just was not with none of that. And I had to be true to myself. Like, I see how y'all getting down, and it's making me uncomfortable, and I don't want to be like that in like 15, 20 years. So I have to be serious. So I went to therapy, and that just started me to go into a spiritual unraveling way. And I just started to really deal with myself and really get myself together. And then I honestly started with meditation, and it just pushed me all the way up to this point. So no, I just started journaling and really just trying to like figure me out. But it's nothing like being because I had caught COVID. I was locked up in the house, and I was up there paper crafting and journaling, and it just pushed me all the way in. So that's really it though. I didn't get here overnight, but COVID definitely helped. It surely just pushed me right in that direction. Let's see. I'm trying to see my Venus motion or just the vibe. All right, I think Digital put her stuff down at the bottom. Let me see. Okay, James, real quick. Is there proof that a lot of this esoteric stuff comes from Kemet? The Greeks seem to make up a lot of the stuff, also borrowing from Mesopotamian. Greeks cannot read the writings. Oh yeah, James, this stuff does come from Kemet. If you look up Kemet and what they call the Chaldeans, like if you read more traditional texts, they call them the Chaldeans. But the Chaldeans, they said they one of the waves that the invaders, I forgot which wave is, look, but one of them waves where Egypt had got their ass beat, the people who was the priests had ran over, and that's the Chaldeans, and they was up there reading the charts and stuff. But they have on record that the Chaldeans was priests that came out of Egypt or Kemet. So all this stuff really just comes from Kemet. And like when you talk about like the Chaldeans, or like what they call it, Babylon, but they said that them people ran up out of there when they was getting their ass beat, and basically said that they could stay with them. But yeah, no, it's not. You're not wrong. It's not. It does not come from no damn Greek. Let's see. Did you know Ifa, the Ishe tradition root work, has its origin in West African spiritual traditions with sprinkle European Native American folk magic? Yes, it does. Voodoo and voodoo or hoodoo definitely comes out of a mix of West African, European, and folk magic. Also a mix of like Christianity. But I honestly feel like when people do root work and stuff like that, I feel like they just going back to like Africa anyway, because like Christianity is basically African, so it's like it's African. They honestly, I feel like what black people did, because like the church at some point took the mysticism out of Christianity. I feel like when black people came up with that whole hoodoo mess, they put that stuff back together, because they said, look, I believe that the spell work and mysticism, or which I call witchcraft, go with it, and it do. When you look up like what they was doing back in the gap, like it did. I swear that's why we stopped. Okay, that's Jasmine still going in on Navy boy. But you know what, Jasmine? It must be a thing, because I had dated someone in the military or the Navy too. Child, gags all around. Let me see. I'm still scrolling, y'all, making sure I ain't miss nobody. Okay, so I guess digital is next, and then we'll go into James's stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I might tea time be crazy, child. That's all I ever say. It's like, but when y'all see some of the placements for people in the military, like I understand. Like at first, before I had started reading charts, I was like, man, people be straight dookie. But then, like after I understood why them charts be looking how they look, and why people be behaving how they behave, you be like, eh, like what can you do? You know? Okay, be digital, be media. I'm doing yours next, okay? 11. Say Katie. Okay. Okay, be digital. I'm about to do your stuff real quick. Okay. Let me see. Why it's not putting your I know I put a time on here. Y'all gotta stop playing. Stop playing. Cause I definitely put a time in here, so I should be saying a rising sign, ma'am. Let's do this real quick. Let me see. All right, hold on real quick. I don't know why it was doing that. Okay. Okay, now it's doing it. I don't know why I did that. That was so weird. Let me find out you got something with technology in your chart. I'm about to see. Okay, so digital, you gonna have Leo in your ninth house, and so this is gonna deal with things around travel, promises, some degree law, like law of philosophy, your personal philosophy with life, higher education, studying, if you should go back to school or not, possibly in-laws. I don't know if you married. And because your sun is in the 10th house, this will deal with your career, especially because you were a Libra sun. And this is a great placement for the house sign, but Libra and the sun, the sun and Libra don't really vibe with each other. And detriment because Libra is starting to get too cold for the sun preference. So there could be like a supercharging in your ideals, but something about your ego and your identity could be an issue with the way people see you, and you could feel like possibly insecure and maybe standing firm in your ideals and who you are, But outside of that, I could also see too you doing actions, or maybe there's a thing of wanting to share information with other people or almost act on the behalf of other people too. And it actually helps your self-esteem as well. But this is going to deal with largely like how you deal with your own philosophy to life, and also religion, philosophy, your sense of faith and how much faith you have. But because your sun is in Libra, it seems like you could be having a test of faith right now. Yeah, I'm getting my master's, and a lot of people think I'm kind of snooty, but I'm cool people. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like people don't see you, like how you're coming off is not like you're doing things, like you could even be like a public servant, or like you doing things to help people, but people don't feel like you trying to help them. I know that sounds weird, but you know, it sounds messed up, but it is true. You know, like you be the only social worker that gets stuff done, that getting people their food stamps, but they feel like you got an attitude. So no, it's like it's really going to be around your education and your philosophy to life, and how you're taking on like religion and these different beliefs. But honestly, it's not their fault, digital. You just have a Libra sun, and that could be kind of iffy, especially in the 10th house, which deals with the public. So how people see you might not always be what they think. Now, the good thing is your sun is in the star of Zanaya, which gives you order, congeniality, a lovable nature, and refinement and honors. And so you could get a lot of honors for being who you are. Honestly, when I think about the star of Zanaya, I don't know if y'all seen it. This is an old movie, so brace yourself. But I'll give y'all some updated ones. My Fair Lady with Audrey Hepburn. You also have like Miss Congeniality, you know, where she's like a FBI agent. She's dealing with law, order, but she's also dealing with like refinements and, you know, getting the girls together for a good cause. And we have to stop this person from trying to kill these bitches and stuff like that. That's what I see, you know. But the downside is it's like people don't really see you like that, you know. Also, y'all, if y'all want to have this done, y'all just put your information in the chat. But they don't really see you like that, you know. That's the sad part. And so it's really going to be dealing with um in certain ways like how we deal with the public, but also how we deal with like our own faith in ourselves, and are we people pleasing too? Are we people pleasing? You're not invisible. People see you. You just probably feel invisible. You do have a moon in Capricorn. It's interesting. Yeah, two little moons in Capricorns back to back to back. But you're not invisible because your sun is in the 10th house, so people do see you. You just probably feel like that. And maybe it's because you're not getting the praise you thought you were going to get. But that's why I think some of this is people pleasing. Even though you genuinely do want to help people, or you genuinely want to do something for exaltation. But the sad part is like you might feel like you don't get the recognition you want. Because it's the 10th house. The 10th house wants praise. But the moon is in Capricorn, and the Capricorn sees things as a materialism. So physically wanting to be praised, you want a materialism of like actual having power, ambition. And sometimes the power and ambition can affect how people see you, or even if you are paying attention to how people are seeing you. How you showing up. Because you got what, 5, 11, and 18 degrees in Capricorn? Yeah. So what I see that is a possibility, I don't know how much you want to get into this, but there's a possibility of having some eye trouble or issues with depression or hopelessness, or morbid religious outlook, or having little concern for human life. But I don't really think that. I think it could come off that way. Again, having eye trouble or bad eyesight is a thing. You can have marital or martial desires, high ambition. You can have a thing with domination or keen perception. You can have a lot of success. Um, and the success, it can kind of skew you. So like the blindness is you don't see that people are praising you, or that people see you in high esteem, because the moon is subjective. The moon is our feelings, and it's really tied to, again, because you're another moon and Capricorn person, it's tied to how our families or our mothers socialized us. So you are actually cool, digital B. It's just that the insecurity comes from our family and our mothers, you know. But it's, you just have to like try to think through positively, because it's actually affecting your self-esteem. It affects your self-esteem a lot. And how we think, if we don't learn how to properly process our thoughts, like look how it affects people. You saw Rex talking about He trying to lock down a cutesy girl, but his parents raised him too hard, so he don't know how to talk to people. You know, you got Jasmine over here. Every 8 years, she find a narcissist. You know, you get a lot of praise. A lot of people like you. You kind of like Sandra Bullock from Miss Congeniality, or like my Audrey Hepburn from My Fair Lady, but you don't feel that. And it's because, you know, your parent failed you, so they could be very overly critical, or overly highly keen in perception, or like a very dominating mother, or dominating paternal, or like a parent figure. But you could be very idealistic of human ideals, and look for a lot of mental stimuli. So sometimes your desire for mental stimulation can distract you from getting the praise that you need to. But yeah, actual blindness or not seeing things clearly could really affect you. Also understanding that you don't always have to be in charge, or you don't always have to be the leader. Be careful around violence. I would just tell you that in general, but there's a cold detachment and a perfectionistic thing that can affect you. Also, earthquakes. I would not tell you to live in a way with earthquakes, because you don't. It's not good for your house or whatever. You don't have a good home for that, placements for that. But you have to watch what you say out of your mouth and how you think. Even you have to be careful about your thoughts. So I think a technique that can help you, you know, because I actually been thinking about going over psychological books too, because that plays a part in so much in how people's charts, like how people act out their charts, is people's own personal psychology. But I'm actually considering going over psychological books, at least reviewing them, or at least suggesting them to y'all, so that way y'all could work out what y'all need to work out. But what I would suggest to you is to try the stoic approach, like stoicism in your approach. One, do not over exaggerate. So if you say I'm no good, no one ever recognizes me, that's a lie. That's an absolute statement. You don't know if anyone recognizes you. So that's one. That's over exaggeration. Two, not to mislabel things. Maybe you say I'm stupid, or you know, I'm fuck up, blah blah blah. Like, that's too much of a statement that is, one, is demeaning, is harsh, and it's rude. You know, you wouldn't say that to other people, so you shouldn't say it to yourself. But it's also an absolute statement that doesn't make sense. And I feel like the last one, you know, try to be compassionate and give yourself a break. You know, but I really feel like, you know, how your mom raised you is why it's affecting how you see yourself and how people see you. Cause like on the worst end, it's like you could have come off like flaky or wishy-washy. And I actually do have an opinion why I think why you're coming off that way, but I also don't want to get too much in family drama or tea that I see in your chart, that I don't know if you want me to talk about that. But, you know, that's what I see. That's why I don't try to go too deep in charts, because you know, because you start like even just a flick a little bit, we getting into people's wild parental dynamics and how that's affected how they socialize and, you know, their self-esteem. Like, I don't like to keep flipping up, because you know people have to go home at night, so I don't want to just, you know. And I'm not a therapist, so it's not like they can call me on my emergency hotline to help them after we did a whole, you know, live talking about their moms and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go to therapy for my communication. Almost got into a fight because of it. Yeah, you know, but that's what we have to deal with, our issues, you know. But you're actually do get a lot of recognition, is you have a poor outlook on yourself, you know. But the good thing is, it's something about how your family raised your siblings, where you kind of, you and your siblings, you know, there's something about y'all getting along. Is it with my siblings? Okay, it seems like, if I could be real, it seems like your parent preferred a sibling over you. Like your mom or your dad could have preferred a sibling over you. Like favoritism, you know. But, you know, that's why I said, like, I also see too, like, it's not really with the sibling, it's something else too, but I do see the sibling thing too. It's when I see this in the chart, I usually notice, like, okay, I'm gonna just, if, do you mind if I say it? And if it's too much, we just want to curve out of it. You know, because it does, sometimes these things can be quite traumatic, and I don't want to be doing all of that. I don't know how you're going to respond if I say it, because some people I say it and they be like, I can see that. Other people, they be like, it's not true, and then they come back to me like years later and they be like, bro, I just found out at my mom's funeral what you said is true. And I'm like, bitch, I'm sorry, like, I don't want to be right about it, you know. Like, that's not something I'll be like, yeah, like, I don't I don't want to be right, but it's fucked up, but I think you should know. Okay, cool. Something about how you were born, with like traveling or movements, or someone having a lack of commitment where they might not have want you, or something about religion has shaped how you were born, and you had to almost survive the birth of being born, like someone not wanting you. Yeah. And when I see this always usually is the case for one thing or another, whether it's like religion, whether it's a lot of things. But for your case, it seems like religion, travel, no, not wanting to be bogged down with responsibilities. You know, I don't. That's why I said, like, you know, I don't. I want you to. I want everyone to be good. I really mean that. You know, but these are very triggering and upsetting themes for people. That's why I don't bring it up unless you say I can. You know, but that affects your self esteem, and you gotta learn to let that go. You know, and you gotta confront that pain head on, or it'll make you crazy and a narcissist. Cause that's what narcissists do when they be having a lot of pain and rejection. They just get selfish and crazy. You know. Yes, mine was in the military, and I think she was like, no, but she says that all the time. Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. What people don't understand about children, they imprint in the womb. So it doesn't matter that she was like no, but then was like yeah. There's a part of you that understood as like a little sack that this person did not want you, and that shaped your relationship. Because I could see it in your chart. I could see that she prefers another child over you because she had them probably at a better time for her. But this also drives you for the need of her approval and perfectionism, and to get praised publicly. So you're looking for this praise to fill this void in that your mom would give you, because or as a little baby embryo sac digital bee, somewhere you peep that this lady ain't want you. And that's why you need this validation from the public in your career, because it's like, if I get this master's degree, if I do this, she is going to want me. I feel that, but, you know, I want you to have self-esteem no matter what. I don't care, your mama, your bald-headed granny, snaggletooth uncle, gotta push past that. Because it's actually making you see, because you're looking for her approval so much, you're not seeing that a lot of people do mess with you. Like, a lot of people be like, yeah, Digital be that girl. And when she coming to work, like, matter of fact, let me call Digital right now, because if when she coming to work, I know that bitch gonna fix it. You know, like when you show up to work and people be happy that you at work, that's how they be. They be like, Digital got this, okay? They be like, who on the schedule today? Digital. All right, straight. Well, they be like, who on the schedule today? Cassandra. Oh, I can't stand her, and she don't know how to do her job. You know, she probably also doesn't like me because I'm a part of the Rainbow Committee too. Girl. Okay, can I be for real though? Can I be for real though, Digital? I can see that too, because usually when I have people with displacement assault too, as far as in not wanting them, this same placement not wanting them, I also noticed that when people had that placement, they usually be gay. But again, I already hit you with the one kind of knuckle up. I couldn't hit you with the two. So I'm glad you said it, not me, because like I feel like there's so many traumas I could flip up through your chart before you like emergency hotline. So I try not to do too many. But you said it, not me. But that same placement is one of the placements that I see, especially when I see your Venus and your moon is squared each other, and then it's like conjunct Uranus. It's like this girl gay. No offense, but I'd be like, this person gay, but or they on something. They doing something. But again, I already talked about your mom favoritism and her not wanting you. So I'm already 2 now, and I can't do 3. But since you said it, not me, we're straight. But I want you to. That's all I'm saying, digital. Like you said it, not me. Like I'm not trying to do too many in a row because it feel like bullying. So I don't want to be bullying people's charts, but it's like you good, you great introspection. You know, which you would have because you do have a Mercury in Virgo, which means you're very analytical and you're perceptive, so you're able to catch on really quickly. So I'm glad you did got right to the point. But that's why I want you to just chill, digital. You're fine. You know, work on things that will build your self esteem. I have a book right now that I'm reading too. It's called, let's see, what's it called? This is I know you'll do it because you got the Virgo placements for it, child. So I know if I put this in the chat, you gonna do it. But yeah, hold on, y'all. I'm actually almost done with digital. But it's called Self Esteem by Matthew Mackey. He is a psychiatrist, and it's a workbook. Technically, the workbook is for other psychologists, but because I feel like you have the placements for drive, perseverance, perfectionism, and analytical ability, there's actually two more books that I could suggest you for psychological things. I actually think that you would do it in an honest way, and do it in a way that you would get what you need to get from out this book. But it's called Self Esteem by Dr. Matthew McKay. Yeah, he's a psychologist or psychiatrist. You know, if you can get that workbook, just start clacking up in there, because you're gonna have to deal with proper criticism and the internal monologue of cruelty. So, you know, what about love? Honestly, when I talk about love and romance, this deals with your belief or your love of dealing with your sense of faith in yourself will make romance easier for you. So like you with this Venus transit would deal with issues around your own self-esteem and romance. Now you do have a Venus in Virgo, which is considered in detriment because Virgo is not as receptive, it's too dense, and it also implies that you will have to work very hard for love. And I'm not saying that that means you're unworthy. It means that Virgo deals with almost like it deals with a form of decomposition because it's analytical, where love wants unity. And so sometimes you could be working in ways in which you break up love or romantic dynamics. You're too nitpicky, too critical, and it makes the romance hard. It makes romantic things hard for you because it keeps picking. You know, it's too many analytical things, where it's not just dealing with like a zodiac sign that's homogenous, that wants to merge. You know, it does. Virgo don't really want to merge. It wants to pick everything out. So it's not horrible. It doesn't mean you'll never find love, but it ain't helping either. You know, it do make it extra work. That's why there's a working that has to be done with Virgo. I just need to chill out. You do, because you very nitpicky, and I want you to chill, because when you was little, you ain't like your mother doing that to you. So it's like, don't, like, see how Rex had to check himself, like, you know what, I do be ghetto with these girls. I be getting smart with the little Myras and Sinclair girls. I need to chill. You gotta see where you could be bringing that smoke with the other girls, and they like, what's wrong with, or the boys, whatever. You be like, what's wrong with, you know? So you have to think about that. So for you, because you do work hard, this could deal with criticism, perseverance, control, being a control freak in love, lacking imagination, making undesirable associates, being mental illness. I'm not saying you have that, but you know, if you don't watch out how you think, you can get mental illness. Happiness turns into despair, disease, natural disasters. Again, eye problems, but you said that you need to take care of your eyes. Also, you could have to take like hormonal things or things with circulation for your eyes to help with your eyesight. Honors, riches, ambition, psychic, chronic illness, dishonest income. It could mean that you can make money from crime, but I don't think you will probably want to do that. Associated with death and mourning, war, natural catastrophes. Also, you could make money as like also being coming in as like a crisis manager, or like when people really going through stuff. That would be better suited, or like really helping when things be real ghetto. That'd be better because then you can offset that energy versus coming to people with all of that extra yeah. I'm combative. And see, as long as you know that you're ghetto, you know where to start. Cause see, the worst people is when you dating them and they ghetto and they don't know what's wrong with them, and you like, oh my gosh, this bitch is crazy. You know, you if you know you combative, you have something to work towards. Like if you start trouble, like if someone dates you and you start fucking with them, at least you know like I start trouble. I be troublemaking in the relationship, and that's cool because then you know where to start. But you know, you could be starting trouble because you feel like you have to prove yourself for love. You have to be perfect, and then you know maybe that inner part of the criticism means that the person you want the person to like accept you even with all of these things. But I think this is just a fear of rejection, and I think it's the rejection that ties back to your family, and so you kind of like scare people away out of fear of rejection. You know, you just have to just chill a little bit. And also accept that people can like you even though you're nuts. You just have to find someone where your craziness isn't a deal breaker, and then y'all not being toxic, so y'all can actually build something. You're fine, you know. And the good thing is, you're not the only person who have a crazy mother. You see how many crazy mothers is in this chat? People talk about that crazy moms all day. At least 2 people say their mama was off the hook. You're fine. Having raggedy, crazy, or just shit parents is normal. A lot of people have shitty parents. Now you could get better though, but it's not like you know, you're fine. Stop making trouble for your lovers. No one likes a lover that be bullying them and be up in their face all day. That's exhausting. And I can also add, if you stress people out enough, you can give them an autoimmune disorder. It's true. So don't be making people get diseases because you stressing them out at home. My mama has that black mama jealous energy. Long as y'all know, y'all. Long as y'all see, everybody said this too. Some people parents be just dookie, and it's all right. My parents really wasn't all that neither. I could tell you some stories with their little ghetto butts. You know, it's okay. But you gotta stop trying to be doing D'ing up on your lovers though. That'd be exhausting. My mom has anger. See everybody. See how everybody come together. Everyone come together. I still love, and you can still love your mother and have boundaries. And if she don't respect your boundaries, then you have to respect them yourself. You know, you don't. You know, you have to love yourself properly. Just because you have boundaries or you improve doesn't mean you don't love your mom. So respect. She want respect. I want respect too. Like it's going. This is not a one-way street. It's a two-way. And I'm definitely give people tickets. Get out of here. I'm about to get your whole car towed. Facts. Parents be raggedy, but just gotta straighten them out respectfully. Yeah, respectfully. Stop. You're right. Father's mad because he was the maternal energy. Still love her, but I had bear. That's all I'm saying. Like, stop letting these people D up on you. Because they mad about something else. They mad that your father broke up with them, or, you know, they was out there having a hot girl summer on some sexy red shit and they had to sit their ass down with a baby. That's not my problem. Whatever it is, she better be feet. Because nobody told you to be had your legs open. That's what I'm saying. I don't be letting people be treating you all types of ways. Mothers or fathers. Yeah, everybody has to have self-respect. And really, when you don't have self-respect, look how much harder people's life be. So it's like, no. Like, self-respect is a whole, like, survival thing. Like, you need it to, like, literally just survive. You know? So, My mom kind, but she got anger issues. It's cool. See how many? See digital. You see you in good company. Everybody mama got something wrong with them. You know. And to be for real, I haven't seen nobody chart that had somebody mom in a good placement yet. So far since I've been going through y'all little stuff. Most of the people that I've been reading, their moons was kind of iffy. Meaning their moon be kind of funky. That mean their mother be doing stuff. I mean, it's cool, you know. Like, I actually seen a lot more y'all in the chat where y'all have stronger sun placement than moon placement. But it's alright, you know. But y'all digital, you'll be fine. Just stop bullying your lovers. Stop being mean. Be nice to your lovers. You don't have to prove yourself. Somebody will like your crazy ass. Go to therapy. You know, build your self-esteem up and stop looking for your mom's approval. Because she's not going to give it to you. Because remember, you already imprinted that she had an issue with you when you was born. So it don't matter. Y'all, you go ahead and I go ahead. And go find your dream girl or boy. Whoever that is. I don't know what you doing over there. But whatever the dream is, you go get that. And stop being mean to them. Don't be mean to them because your mom was on some shitty shit. You know, you be nice to them. Because you're going to put yourself in the same situation. That's it. Drive it, go on. Alright? So let me see who next. I'm scrolling up right now. Let me see. Also, look up that book I told you to, Digital B. And you'll be fine. But yeah, these parents be out of control. That's why I believe in parents going to jail for child abuse. I do believe that. I'm like, y'all need to go to jail because y'all badass kids be outside. And I don't like that. Y'all want some good news. Yeah, Steve, give us some good news. Give us some good news. But that's what I was telling y'all with Leo dealing with like childhood innocence or childhood themes and around being proud of your children. As I was saying, that's where we go right back to that energy. So if you have unresolved issues with your parents, it's gonna come back again. But Steve said he got some good news for everybody, so you know. Okay. Let me see. Oh, we waiting for Steve to write back. Yeah, y'all gotta love yourself no matter what. Y'all don't be letting people be pulling your hair out. Oh, I will, Journey. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, don't be letting nobody beat y'all up. I don't care if they your mother or not. Y'all better fight back. Cause y'all be having them people will ruin your whole life and then die. Like, girl. Cause you know them, they gonna get old before you, so they gonna ruin your whole life and then die. Don't that sound illegal? I think I'm gonna have my truck Saturday come at. Hey, see, Steve wanna have a new whip. Okay, new wheels for the summer. Okay. Congratulations, Steve. Okay, so who's next? I think James was next. Yeah, we got the Libras coming out now. Okay. Yeah, so James is next. All right, y'all. So, James, the Venus retrograde is in your sixth house. So, this is going to affect work, daily life, but also it could be affecting your health, your diet, and your routine too. And because your seventh, your the way your thing is set up, your sun is in the seventh house, it can affect your identity and maybe. Yeah, I do know Steve, but maybe how you have relationships with other people, and so like because your sun is in the seventh house again, Libra is too cold. The sun don't really like that, but it also deals with like how your identity could be shaped by other people. And so dealing with your health and your daily routine and how that affects other people. Also because it's the sixth house, it could deal with parts of yourself that don't get enough light or attention. So being like technically the sixth and the eighth house, they call it, they I forgot the term for it, but they're basically in the shadow. Meaning like the reason why those houses can be some of the most dangerous or they're linked to diseases is because the sun don't really hit them like that off the eastern hemisphere, like the eastern horizon. Let me say that, the eastern horizon. So the sun don't really hit them like that. So like you could be dealing with like haters getting attention or people like being weird with you on some anemic type shit. But it can also deal with like issues around health and stuff like that. So let me see. You got it at 3 and 8. Let me see. 3, 8. Yeah, because the thing is, it's like you're gonna have to deal with issues around learning how not to be so mistrustful. Also, learning to find your own voice, James. I don't know if James is still out there, but learn not to find your own voice, not to be so suspicious and mistrustful. Because you have a thing where you could be very self controlled, but you have a lot of anger. You could be quite angry.
Also, make sure that y'all go to BMORE's Cash App. Make sure y'all support the real deal. Also, her Patreon as well. There's a lot of PDFs and things she's gonna be working on. So I don't know how long she's gonna be staying on this stream, but she's dropping down a lot of dimes for everybody. Also, she will be breaking down people's codes more also on her Patreon too. She's going to be setting up tiers where she's breaking down different aspects of the code. It's very important to know where your powers are, where you're the most powerful, and also where your weaknesses are so you can alchemize it into power. So, again, make sure y'all go to Dummies, Cauldron Patreon. Make sure you go to BMORE's Cash App, and I believe BMORE, you're going to give them the link and everything.
Yeah, I'll post it.
All right, and I'm out.
All right, booby. But yeah, like dealing with your anger, and so dealing with death by like fever, fire, or be had like violence or ruin or catastrophe. And so these are things you're supposed to be moving away from. Disgrace, also wounds to like you might be prone to getting like injuries to your face or eyes or issues with seeing, but imprisonment or dealing with great changes in society. The other thing is having a lot of drive, again, being very reclusive, issues with the eye, and dealing with tragedies and fires. But because you're prudent and self-controlled, you can have a lot of patience, a lot of courage, and can be quite heroic and almost like a defiant leader. You will be really good in the military, um, very self-willed and uncooperative when you want to be, but there could be some issues with like violence, horrors, and stuff like that. So these are things you're supposed to move away from, even though there is like getting into things that are more relaxed. But you could be very, again, very brave and very penetrating. This could be good for like studying, but also there could be a lot of issues with the eyes and the face, like wounds to the eyes and the face. So you would have to like pay attention to that because you can get you have like anger issues, so you would have to like deal with that. It needs to be like things around your past life, just moving further into that, move well further away from that and more into being like detached. So those are things that you're supposed to be moving into. And then with your sun, it looked like your sun and your Venus are conjunct in Libra and Virgo, but you have a Venus in Virgo too, which again would deal with some similar things that I talked about with Digital B2. But in this case, your Virgo being at 0 degree makes you very generous, noble, peaceful, fearless. Again, you have a lot of bravery that deals with that, and I think learning how to move your bravery and your fearlessness in a way that's productive, because it's like getting trapped in anger isn't helping, you know. But yeah, you can be quite generous, very noble, peaceful, and have the ability to undertake a lot of responsibility. You're very responsible, very responsible. So I think you should pay attention to that. You do have a lot of insight. You could be very spiritual when you want to. But because you have like a lot of energy and you want to take on more ambitious things in society, you have to be careful that you're not in things that's going to like stall that for you. But you're very orderly, congenial, and very responsible. Very much so similar placements in stars to that of Digital B. Y'all have similar star placements. But you do have to be careful of falsity, folly, disgrace, stealing, depression, widowhood, witch hunts, and mysticism in the occult. Like, you do have to be careful of that. But I will say that about that particular star, it does mean that you can kind of be like non-traditional, like a non-traditional lover, in a sense. Like, you don't really, if you're into women, let me say this, you don't believe in like repressing your wife. Like, usually when I see that, it means like I don't believe in repressing my wife. Like, it's not like she be just out here robbing banks or nothing, but she's free to be herself, you know. So that's usually what that means. I know like some people be like widowhood because it implies like during the time period they made that listing for the star, they were talking about women gaining more freedom after their husband dies. But this can um also means that it's a husband that isn't controlling of the wife. Right? I left my wife to do her thing. Yeah. Like, you don't have like that type of nature. But it does mean you could get into like occultism. I'm an atheist, but I do lean African spirituality. Yeah. Just more open. I feel like I'm at a dead end in my work life. Yeah, so that's what you feel. You want to feel like you have to wake up your work life to deal with energies with other people. Deal with other people and navigating that, or troubleshooting dynamics in relationships. So this could be networking. It's some degrees of networking, but it can also deal with like peacemaking, contracts, business, and getting into business with other people. Your whole Venus retrograde is going to center on dealing with other people. And I think the reason why you get so angry, another reason, is because like I feel like you sit on a lot of like margin energy, like a lot of force, because your Mars is at the bottom or in a hidden aspect of the chart. So you have like all this force that you don't really let out either. So this could be like hidden force. This could also be like, if I could be quite frank, because it's Mars, it could also be like sitting on a lot of sexuality as well, you know. But these are suppressed things too. So honestly, I would tell you to just find a way to express these things, because you don't want your anger to like erupt. But this would be great for, honestly, for you for business or starting a new health routine, or like just revamping work. However you wanna, whatever this work you're trying to do, because it's gonna make you're just gonna keep getting mad. So you might as well just figure out a way to do it. Cause like your Mars is like very, your Mars is elegance, integrity, popularity. You know, so I think like you might have a thing for like outside of like violence, which again you said you're gonna work on your anger, but you could be very popular, you know. But yeah, you could be very popular, and you could have some issues with violence, but you know, just whatever this work is, get out there. Get out there and do it, because that's really what it is. Because you're gonna just be suppressing it a lot. But that's really it. Like yours is pretty like straightforward, because it's like you have a very, it's kind of interesting, but you do have like a very straightforward nature. So like the chart reads like direct. Like I want to do this now. So let's see. Cause I'm already been on here for a minute, so I'm gonna see if I have anyone else, and I'm probably just hop off of here and then probably like might see if I have to do a part two, cause I might have to go cook dinner. So he a Leo, Lola he a Leo, Venus and Virgo, me Leo Virgo, cause Virgo Venus and Leo, so it's a mess. He's more patient, sweet. Dang. Not y'all scratching each other face up, Lola. They're just planets. Yeah, girl, they just planets. You just have to work through it. So, how did I do a spiritual unraveling? Well, you start with therapy. Like, you really just have to be honest about who you are. Like, people get too wrapped up in stuff, and then you'll be fine. You just have to move through these things. Let's see. Okay, y'all, I might do a part two, because y'all have like so much like stuff in here though. Yeah, I'm gonna probably end up doing a part two. Thank you, James. That was very sweet. But yeah, I'm gonna end up doing a part two to this, because this is just people's doing their Venus retrogrades, and we already had like 3 people pledge their life to the Lord. So that's what we're gonna do. I will just do a part 2 to this Venus retrograde series. And I guess I'll post in the comment section or the community tab when we'll do the part 2. But for everybody that's on my Patreon, there's like a little worksheet on there if y'all want to start with some introspective questions, and also helping y'all to understand what Venus is doing while she's retrograding and her Venus cycle, which I have another one just about what Venus cycles are. But what I'm gonna do is we'll do a part 2, and I'll just let y'all know I need mine done like bad. All right, well then you would just have to be here for the part 2, because we just doing people Venus signs right now and how the retrograde is affecting their Venus signs. So
and after that, with BMORE doing part 2, the great thing about this is y'all get your information, quickly on the live, because I'm sure you're gonna be doing it maybe in a couple of days. You're gonna do part 2 for them.
Yeah.
But also there will be PDFs on everybody's codes. Y'all can pay for that through Cash App. PDFs on your stars and different things like that, and of course it's going to be affordable. We making sure that you're able to have access to this information, because it's very important. You don't want to fuck up, you don't want to ruin relationships, you don't want to mess up on opportunities, and you don't also want to be around people who secretly hate you and jealous of you and want to sabotage you and all that other stuff. So it's very important. After BMORE does part 2 to this and just verbally confirm your codes and different things like that, then y'all can come in on the back end, pay on Cash App for y'all that actually have it in written form, so you can always go back and read it.
Yeah, because some people in the chat, I did do a PDF for them where they could just go over their information, and I just typed it up and I sent it to them. So if y'all would like a PDF, I probably will end up rolling them back out. Just let me know. But I'll put my work number back in here, and I'll let y'all know what packages I'm doing, because sometimes I used to switch up the different packages, so I would have like tarot. But in this case, it seems like y'all, I'll probably just start off with just people's birth charts. But I'll do a part two to this, especially for people crying about their little love life.
Well,
So
and also so your stuff won't be overly like too much. Like make sure y'all specify. If y'all really want to know about your stars, your fixed stars, then BMORE can have a PDF that's focused on that.
yeah,
If you want your natal chart, then talk about. But just make sure you
specify
specify
what you want me to type up.
because then that way it can be focused,
Right.
organized, and it won't be BMORE just guessing and doing all this
All
work.
of this work, and it's like aimless.
Right.
And then
Well,
y'all,
not aimless, but it's just like someone would be like, "Oh, shorty, that was nice, but I was just asking about this."
it's true. And to be for real, like I can easily type up 40 pages on a person. Now, unless you want to clear through 40 or 60 pages in a PDF about yourself,
Which will take some time.
which is going to take time for me to literally sit down and write down everything. But if y'all want specific things like, can you tell me about, I just want something on my Mercury and my Venus, like can you type up like a report for me about my stuff or something like that? Fine, I would type all of that up. But I'll put my number in the chat. Because I know some people said that they were interested in stuff, so I'm going to get to you after I eat, because y'all, I'm hungry. Y'all done had me go into Oprah Winfrey Chickadoodle Super the Soul mode up in here. But I'll put my number in the chat, and then y'all just text me what y'all want to look for. And that's what I'll type up, and then
Right,
yeah.
and we're gonna have the prices ready for y'all for the fixed stars. Don't worry, it's not gonna be nothing crazy breaking your back or anything like that. We're gonna make sure that it's affordable for everybody. These different tiers pertaining to these different PDFs. And I'm gonna talk to BMORE tonight and see when she's gonna do the next one, so we can make a post beforehand, so y'all will know early on when she's doing part 2 in the stream. Cause I know a lot of y'all at work and do a lot of different things, so y'all need to know a couple of days, heads up, and we're gonna do that for y'all.
Okay, y'all. All right, so I put my number in the chat. And y'all just let me know. Y'all can hit me up. As a Jupiter dominant, I want all the knowledge. I understand some of the placements, y'all actually desire that. That's just y'all bag. Y'all like them 50, 60 deep page reports. But yeah. Let me see. Is it in here? Can y'all see it?
Yeah, the number's in there.
Okay. So yeah, my number's there. Again, y'all can also email me at thedummiescauldron@gmail.com. But yeah, so I'll talk to y'all next time. Again, I'll post for part 2, and I'll let y'all know so y'all can come and y'all could wait for the notification bell to put y'all over here.
We love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day.
But they said my number isn't showing up.
Okay, let me do
They
it.
probably
again for you.
spammed it.
Yeah, it probably spammed it. Hold on, I'll put it in there again for you. I'll put it in there on my
Thank you, Ruby. Hopefully I get this job so I have something to slide so I can finally get the reading and the chart info.
Well, we're gonna be doing we're gonna be doing some group prayers too at times. So if anybody need a prayer to get a job, we'll pray for you.
For real. But no, the chat usually be trying to look out for people. But no, I'm gonna repost the numbers so y'all can see it. It's in the description though. I feel you, Journey, but there you go. But I also understand that everybody ain't tech savvy, so.
Or sometimes people their interface be messing up.
That is true too. Some people phone screens be cracked up. But yeah, that's my number, y'all. Y'all just text me, and in the next couple days I'll be systematically getting to everyone. But yeah, y'all stay blessed.
Oh, also, Rex, what's up, Rex? Rex also want the Cash App in there, in the chat. He said, can you put it in there? So you put it in there, BMORE, and then I'll double down on it if I see the link on here, so I can put it in here again on my end. It's also, okay, I see it's on your about as well. I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay, I just put it in there.
I'm gonna put it in there again just in case.
All right.
So copy
But
URL.
yeah, guys, I will do a part two, and then if y'all want, we can also talk about what the pentagram is and how it's really the star of Venus. That's why when y'all be seeing them putting them stars up everywhere, get money, get money. You know, so we'll talk about that too. But you know, good luck everybody. You know, y'all stay blessed. I love you guys. Peace.